We're live. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you see which cup I graced your presence today?
My Mr. Rip.
Are you Yellowstone? Yeah. Are you a
Yep.
Yellowstone watcher?
Yes, I'm already all caught up with the 2 episodes and ready to go. Episode 3.
See, the thing is when it first came out, I didn't watch it until later. Like I was hearing all the hype and I didn't watch it till later. So then by the time that I started watching, all 3 seasons were actually out.
Me too.
So then I could Yellowstone binge and be just happy as a clam. Now I have to wait a week for the next episode. It's like the old days. What?
It's kind of nice. It gives you something to look forward to. Maybe even rewatch.
When we've turned into a binge society, it's interesting to flip back to have to wait for an episode. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. It's true. We shall wait together in line with thousands and thousands of other women for sure. Even the men love Yellowstone.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Right.
Okay, Angie's here. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Cheryl. Everybody's waking up. Oh, how's your morning so far?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
The group. Good.
Yeah.
Very quiet morning in the household. And I'll pre-apologize right now. Working from home has its perks. And then there's being a worker, a teacher, a parent. And so I have a circus of children and animals. So just prepare yourself for some cameo appearances in the background.
Well, before we went live, your cat was like front and center and super cute. So I hope I can hear the little bell. I hope they make another appearance.
Lucy will probably jingle her way over here for sure.
You're like, wait, you haven't paid attention to me for like 5 minutes. So what's happening over here?
And she does. She literally like attacks us. She like will come at you and like hook her paws around you until you pick her up and carry her like a baby.
Oh, I love cats.
Yeah,
they just get to have the attitude without filter that all of us wish we could.
Yes, and they're so aloof and cool and yeah.
They don't care what people think about them. They just
they just attack.
All right.
I want to be a cat.
I just want to come back as a cat. It's good. Well, we will get started this morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Virtual Coffee Club. It's Fun Friday, which means we get to meet a brand new friend, and I'm so excited. We have talked about Davina coming on to hang out with us forever, and we finally made it happen. So please welcome Davina Comstock from Junior Achievement hanging out with us this morning.
Good morning, everybody.
It's so fun to have you here. Now, because we've got people who watch and join us from Coffee Club all over Canada, the US, globally, and they're like, Junior Achievement, what's that? What is it?
Well, I'll tell you, we are a not-for-profit organization, and we're actually an international not-for-profit. So we have chapters and charters in over 120 countries around the world. And what we do is deliver programming at no cost to students in schools. And we educate and inspire students in financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and work readiness skills. And so we have programs that start at grade 3 and go all the way up to grade 12. And we work with volunteers within our communities to help us deliver these very important programs and educating students in financial management, budgeting, what happens after high school. So looking at careers, how to set goals, and the list is huge. All our programs align with the current Alberta curriculum right now. And so depending on the grade specific program, it will be streamed either to financial literacy or more the entrepreneurship side in a nutshell.
Yeah. And I love that because I think you hear people, and I see posts all the time, and I've heard other parents make conversation that they're like, man, I wish that you got taught in school how to budget and how to manage money and how to do all of these things. And everybody talks about how they wished there was this thing, when in reality, there is this thing. We just need more people to know about it.
There is, and it's a really fun program because we're in the classroom, the grade 4 to 9 programs, we're in the classroom for 3.5 hours and working with volunteers who have financial background or passion for business or passion for students who they feel they would like to inspire and educate, and especially with these tools. So budgeting, it's huge. And it always stems back to, I look at when I was raised, we didn't talk about money in the household. We didn't talk about budgeting. Like, I had no idea what my mom made and how much groceries cost or anything like that. And so by the time you're 18, you're almost like oblivious to life and what life costs. And so we're trying to nip this in the butt and start with kids at a very early age and really get them understanding the concept of saving money, spending money, what's the difference between needs and wants, and how does that play into budgeting, and how does that budgeting play into your life after high school, your life after living with mom and dad. So it's a fun progression of programming. And
I feel like I need to sign up for it, but at the grade 4 level, please start me there. Yeah.
More than money, we could do that. We could do that.
I think we all could use a crash course in that a little bit of late, and I think it's cool that it's ran. So where does the program come from? Because you're not directly associated with like the school boards, right?
No, so that's the thing. We're basically a third party, and so we work with Alberta Education. We have our programs directly linked to the curriculum, so we're just a not-for-profit, and essentially we're here, and it's our job to, as a regional coordinator, to connect with teachers and educators within the 2 regions that I coordinate, and just let them know that we're here. So yeah, we work with them, we work beside them, but it's basically up to the individual teachers or schools if they would like to host JA in the classroom.
Well, and therefore, I think too, also up to if you or someone you know is on a school council and you would like to see a program like this, you could start the conversation there and connect with teachers about it. Because I don't know a parent in this world who wouldn't want their child to learn more about financial literacy, and even just embracing and incubating the entrepreneurial minds that we have in young kids. There are so many kids that have incredible ideas and no way to incubate them, especially if their parents maybe aren't the entrepreneur mindset, because not everybody is.
No, and if I think you and I could probably agree, we go back when I was going through high school, it was I could be a teacher or a nurse. That was where I was streamed to go. And we didn't talk about owning businesses. There was none of that was in our curriculum. We didn't learn any of that. And so we really want to let students know that there's options, and it all starts with you. It starts with that great idea, and we're connecting them with mentors from within their own communities, and kind of exposing them to the businesses around them and the benefits of those businesses within their own communities. So it's a really fun time, especially the grade 4, 5, 6s. They're so eager to learn, and they're so fun to play with these ideas and to teach them these new concepts. So financial literacy and entrepreneurship is definitely a hit with the kids, I believe. So if anybody on a student council would like to reach me, we can always set up a very brief presentation to present to the parents. And I'm always up for meeting people within the communities we serve in.
That's so fun. Well, and when you say that too, it makes me think for a moment, like, let's have a moment, friends, together about thinking back to when you were like, what were you going to be when you grew up? What were your choices? Like you said, you were sort of being streamed towards nurse or teacher. I remember I was like barrel racer or paleontologist. Like, could there be more extreme? Neither of them worked out. Just want to point that out to you.
So you're not a paleontologist?
I am not. I just
No.
play one on television. Yeah, I don't even know the names of any dinosaurs anymore. It was a weird phase. Really wanted to be a barrel racer, but my dad wouldn't let me. But that's okay.
That's
So
okay.
I would love you to post in the comments what was your dream job when you were a child, as we have our conversation this morning, because that's always kind of fun. I think it's also cool to, I love sharing on Fun Fridays how we've come to be in each other's lives. So Davina and I have known each other long before she started in with Junior Achievements, because you married someone from my hometown. Poor soul. No, I'm just kidding. He's a
like me, poor soul, right?
Yes. You poor soul. 100%. If anyone knows your husband, they know you are a kind charity person.
I'll go with that today. Yeah.
So we've met a long time ago over the years, and you've worked in a few different careers where our paths got to cross in really fun ways, and we've been friends over the years. But then we got connected into each other with Junior Achievement, because I've had it was one of my favorite events to do, and I really just want COVID to leave so that we can do it again. But I got invited a few years ago. Gosh, I can't remember how many now, but I think it's been over 10 years that I have come to MC an event you guys put on called World of Choices. And this event, I think, is so cool. So I'd love you to describe it to people at this, just another great opportunity that you provide to our kids.
So I'm going to describe it post-COVID. So post-COVID, we hosted Worlds of Choices, where students from all over the Foothills region, typically grade 10 students in the COM programs, were invited to attend our career fair forum. And so we would have about 30 career mentors from within and around the Foothills. And the students got to participate in breakout sessions. So they got to choose kind of which career, or they got to streamline which career they would like. And so we had people from doctors, lawyers, people who were doing branding inspections and livestock. So we covered the whole gambit from technology to agriculture and everything in between. And so students got to interact face to face with these career mentors and ask them the real questions, and, find out what this looks like, what programs they need to get into, what do they need to do in high school to get into that program? Is it a fun job? How much do they make? Is it worth it? And so these students leave with a real sense of a path of their choices. I talked to this doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to go to school for 7 years and dissect eyeballs or something, right? And so it's fun because they actually get to ask the real questions. So the Worlds of Choices had typically about 225 students, 6 breakout sessions. We provided lunch and the best snacks from the kindness and generosity of local businesses. We always had like Cobb's Bread and Okotoks and Sobeys and Safeway, just some amazing supporters of Junior Achievement. Fast forward, World of Choices got switched to virtual. And so actually this year, we're lucky enough to have virtual World of Choices. And we're going to do 6 sessions and have 4 guest speakers per session, and invite any student from grade 9 to 12 to join us live. So I'll be working with teachers and educators in the next few weeks and send out those dates and save the dates and hopefully inspire some more students in the Foothills.
Yeah, it's a really cool
and Lethbridge.
Yeah, and I just love that people got the opportunity. And I know back when I worked in radio, I would always have a table talking to the students also about careers in broadcasting. And there was lots of students, like there's one student I can think of an example who she wouldn't leave the table. So I had to hire her and give her a job. And she's worked all the way she worked for me through high school. She went to radio school. She got a career, and that's what she does. And it was just a really cool progression that you get to see people learning about something they want to be when they grow up.
See, and I love that. And I think that's, other than teaching kids about financial literacy and entrepreneurship, that community connection piece is so important. And I love that you, a member of our community, get to take that away, and that a student's life literally was perhaps changed from that one event. And so that is definitely a story that's going to go in the JA books for sure.
100%. So I would assume that when it comes to events like this and going into the classroom, being a nonprofit, the backbone of making that function and that be successful is volunteers from the communities that you serve. So are you still looking for volunteers? Is there opportunities for people who, get a chance to catch this, be like, man, I want to get involved with what this is?
There are absolutely many opportunities. Our program registration actually in 3 years has increased 54%. So, and that's just in the Foothills region. And I'm also the coordinator for the Lethbridge region. So basically I'm the contact for any school from Okotoks to Milk River to Crow's Nest Pass. And so we desperately, I know I wasn't going to say the word desperately, but we need volunteers. It's been a challenge. I think there's not one single person who hasn't been affected by COVID. And so obviously our organization as well. And so people are just trying to figure out their lives and just trying to now work with what we have. And so everything has changed. We offer our programs being done virtually. And so that changes the dynamic a little bit still, but we're still having that impact and still able to get into the classroom in a meaningful way. And so we would love to have volunteers within these communities sign up, inspire a student, share your knowledge, share your expertise, and, give these kids a great head start for their future lives after grade 12. So volunteers are always a thing.
Oh, please. And I mean, we all need something to do. So let's do that. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, Davina, to do that?
It would definitely be by email or phone call. I'm very much a people person and would love to have a chat. So they can reach me at my email. Do you want me to share that?
Yeah, I'm going to type it into the thing and put it on the bottom of the screen here. So do I know it? D
Comstock?
Yeah, at
JA southalberta.org.
We're going to go like this. Watch, I'm going to impress you right now.
Yes. Yeah. Felt right. This makes me feel important.
This is the only thing I learned during COVID is how to do this. That's it.
You know what? Silver linings and baby steps.
Yeah. So there it is. Send her an email. Find out more about it. See what you can do. And November, fancy enough, is Financial Literacy Month.
Yes. So
it's time.
It's time. Let's get these programs. Let's educate these students, your children. One of the things we also kind of look at is our relationship with finances. As we mentioned, like people didn't talk about it. It's not really talked about, but our relationship with money has a big impact and effect on our future selves and our future lives. Because guess what? I was that girl who had her first credit card when I was 18, who was like, swipe, 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 like made the minimum payments for a few years and didn't really understand the importance of not paying that down and how important that was going to be to credit to get my first car. And so these are some of the tools that we are equipping students with. Understanding your credit score, how to make sure your credit score stays good. And there's lots of tips and tricks that our career mentors and volunteers help with. And so just little small things that we need to help and start creating these positive relationships with our finances.
100%. I love that you bring that up because I think people too don't think about and this is, I think for all, not just for students, but we don't think about what that relationship with money looks like or the way that our mind goes into something. And it can be a real psychological barrier along with just something either you know or you don't know. And so it's really important to address that because if you're telling yourself negative things around money, that's the energy that you're bringing around that. And how can you break that and stop that and have a loving relationship with finances? Because it's scary.
It's very scary. And I think in this world too, our kids, like even from age 8, they're exposed to hundreds of marketing messages a day. And so we live in this world of want. And so one of the things that we start teaching students in grade 4 is the difference between needs and wants. Yeah, I want a Mercedes in my driveway. Could I probably have one? I could, but what does that mean? Is it going to make me happy, right?
Yeah.
What does my bank account look like after that? So, it's these really small tools that we want to start students to think about in developing a fun, happy, healthy financial mindset.
Well, and I think too, as parents, it can be a little daunting to think that if we don't have a great relationship with finances or we struggle with it, then it's like, well, I don't know how to have those conversations with my kids, and I don't know how to lead by example in that. And so I think you get in touch with your school council, get this program brought in, and then steal their notebooks and learn it with them.
Or you could visit us at our website and you can enroll in the program yourself. We have, I love this organization in the fact that we were able to adapt very quickly to the consequences of COVID. So from going into the classroom, we are now offering in classroom, we will have soon again one day, but we do virtual volunteer. So a volunteer will deliver the program. And it's not just to students in a school setting. It's for students learning at home, students who are part of an alternative education program where they're at home. And so you can sign up to do self-directed. So a student is just doing their program one-on-one, or a teacher can just do it right through our LMS system and deliver the program on their own timelines instead of having maybe that 3-hour chunk and kind of interrupting their timetable. So there's a few different ways that people can access our programs at no cost.
Okay, and what's the website?
So if you wanted to go to www.jasab.ca, so jasab.ca.
I'm like, now you get to watch me stick my tongue out to try to type. Okay, that's it?
Let's see.
Go like this?
Yep, that's the one. And so you can click on the link to programs, and then it will provide you with the options that you have. So whether you connect with me as a regional coordinator, or whether you'd like to do this on your own, or however you'd like to do it.
Yeah. Well, and I love that option because I think we have a lot of homeschooling, or even just the weeks where if kids are quarantining at home or taking that break or what that looks like, this is another option for parents to offer something for their kids to learn and do from home. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it was really fun to have it, just as a family do it, and to provide that resource for families as well. Because let's face it, our teachers are busy. Sometimes trying to fit 3.5 hours into their lesson plans is challenging or difficult. So if we can offer this through parents and through their households, it's another way to get this information and education to them as well.
That's awesome. Well, I want to be mindful of everybody's time on a Friday morning, but I appreciate you so much coming to have coffee with us, Davina, and remind us it's not always, I don't know, it's not always exciting and fun sometimes to talk about money traditionally, but it can be. And that's what I think you bring such a vibrancy and an excitement, and you bring such passion to the table for kids wanting to be able to have really bright futures. And I love that about you. I think Junior Achievement found a gem when they brought you on their team. And I'm so glad that you're doing this. This is so fun.
Thank you so much for having me. I do. I love this job, and I love the impacts that we can have on students. And I hope to do more programming, especially in High River.
High River.
Yes, we work a lot with Highwood High and Notre Dame Collegiate, and looking to get into working with the younger students. So they'll be seeing me.
Seeing you. All right. So people can go to visit this website if they want to learn some more information. And hopefully we will see you more and more in the schools helping our kids. And Davina, thanks for having coffee with us today.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Happy weekend, everybody.
Yeah. Sunday night, Yellowstone date. We'll see you there.
See you there.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.